slowly walks over. Again, you see where we're going here?
Yep.
It's a build-up.
It sets a mood like nobody business.
Fires open the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Pam is there dead. But then her eyes open.
Yep.
And she... Bah!
Yeah. Because again, she's just being kept for later. She's being frozen. Yeah. So that they could cut her up later.
But then she passes back out, and I think she dies? I don't know.
Well, she probably dies of hypothermia.
Yeah. And then he turns around, and this is it for Jerry. There's no Jerry after this. No. He gets hit over the head, and that is it.
Jerry's done. Jerry, I guess, is the next one to be carved.
Yeah.
Because he's done.
So, now there was two.
Mm-hmm.
Frank and Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch black.
Yep.
Have to go through the woods to find them because nobody's coming back. They're honking the horn. Ain't nobody listening.
Which is a weird moment because they're honking the horn and then Sally's like, fuck it, I'm going. And Franklin's like, no, you're not. That's stupid. Franklin's the only smart one.
Yeah.
And then she goes, no, I am. Give me the flashlight. And he won't give it to her. And then he goes, well, give it a minute. And he goes back to start honking the horn. And she goes, would you stop that? I'm like, but you were doing it.
Yeah.
Like, why are you yelling at him for it? And he goes, fuck it, I'm coming with you, just deal with it, I know it'll be faster without me, but you're not fucking leaving me here, and you're not going alone, because that's all stupid. So, he goes with her, he's just like, wait up, and then they get, 20 feet away from the car?
Yeah.
And
Leatherface!
And you're fucking, we're not eating Franklin.
No.
Franklin gets chopped in half, cut in the chest, cut in the face. Leatherface takes his time carving up Franklin.
He is sliced and diced.
Mm-hmm.
No more Franklin.
Yep.
So Sally books it.
Yep.
Finds the house.
Mm-hmm.
Up the stairs.
Yep.
Stumbles upon...
Well, she tries to get into the house and, knocks and, help me. No one answers, so she gets in and locks the door.
Runs up the stairs. Finds two bodies.
Mm-hmm.
A woman and a man.
Yep.
And no response. So she thinks they're just dead bodies. Like, ah!
Yeah. Meanwhile, one of them's Grandpa.
Yeah. Runs downstairs. I think Leatherface shows up again.
Yeah, well, he cut the door. He cut the door.
Yeah,
that
this chase is great.
Mm-hmm.
It lasts for a good 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's nerve-wracking the entire time.
She only falls once, which most horror films always constantly do multiple times.
And she jumps out a window, messes herself up, gets back to the gas station.
Yeah.
The old man's there. He's like, what happened?
What happened? What's going on? I don't get what... Yeah.
It's okay.
It's cool.
There's nobody out. He opens the door. There's nobody out there.
We're good, and everything's cool.
I'm going to go get the truck. Mm-hmm. I'll take you, and we're going to get
She never questions why he doesn't call the police.
Yep.
He's just like, oh, well, no, he says, no, sorry, he says he has no phone. Right, he said we have no phone.
We have no phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you would have a phone.
You're a gas station. You
in the middle of nowhere. You take orders and come on.
If I were her, I'd jump outside and start running again, because I'm like, this is fucked up, I'm out.
So, this is what I asked you off air right before we started recording. Mm-hmm. While she's waiting for him, she looks up and she sees just meat cooking.
Yep.
I questioned, is that Kirk? Or even Pam?
I'm not sure.
Know.
I think it's one of the earlier victims that we don't see, the off-screen victims, because I don't think it's Kirk, just because I think Kirk is what's for dinner. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
That's what you think is being served at dinner?
I think Leatherface is cooking up Kirk.
Okay. So he comes back?
No, Leatherface isn't cooking. No. He's the kitchen helper.
So the old man comes back with a sack, opens the sack, there's rope, and he attacks her.
Yep.
And I think knocks her out, ties her up.
Yeah.
Drags her into the car. Mm-hmm. Has this... Now, while he's driving, he's got this pipe in his hand.
Yeah.
And he's not hitting her. He's, poking at her and, just explaining, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be all right. Just so shut up now.
Which is so weird because of what ends up happening later. He implies that he doesn't enjoy this part, but he seems to enjoy it. Yeah. It's weird. It's such an odd
Now, here's
choice.
the thing. He has this look on his face like he's about to... but he can't, and Is that what that is? Is it him? He wants to hit her over the head
but he doesn't.
Badly.
But it's just he doesn't want to do it because
she's living and she can't. Yeah, you can't do it to a living creature.
He wants to because it would be easier. But I think he's just like, I don't enjoy this. I hate this part.
It's a weird set of morals.
Yeah, it really is.
He won't kill them, but he'll cook them.
Much like the killer in the original thing that the writer was talking about. Yeah. Like that killer, he's just like, he had all these morals and he would do all this shit, but at the end he stood up for it and like, well, I'm going to pay for it. Same shit. It's like mixed up morals.
So he comes across the hitchhiker, and it is revealed that it is his son. Mm-hmm. And you almost got caught, you idiot! Mm-hmm. Get in the car, get in the van, or get in the truck.
Yeah, you dumbass. Then they get home,
and he fucking smacks Leatherface.
Well, he's just like, look what you fucking did to the door, you dumb son of a bitch.
Did they get away? Did any of them get away? And he's no. And then he checks the freezer, okay, and then he's like, all right, so none of them got away.
And then he's like, okay, good. What did you do to the fucking door? Like, he's looking for any excuse to hit Leatherface. I'm like, that's kind of being an asshole.
You two idiots, you go bring down Grandpa for dinner.
And then they do.
They bring down Grandpa. And I'm like, the effort it takes to bring him down, why not just keep him at the main floor?
I don't know. I really don't know.
So, Grandpa's alive, we find out.
Kind of.
And sucks Sally's fingers.
Yeah, well, they basically, what they do is, as we mentioned earlier with the the thing on purpose, is they cut her, they're like, Grandpa, get a taste, and they cut her finger and feed it to Grandpa, and Grandpa's very happy about it. Yeah. We get very cartoony suction sounds. Yep. So that's how she goes.
And she's
just like, fuck this, I'm out. She basically, resigns to her face, goes into shock, and she's out for a while.
And she awakens, and she's at dinner.
Yep. Leatherface is dressed in his Sunday best.
In his best. Grandpa's there. Yep. Old man's there. Hitchhiker's there. And then they all have a fight.
Yeah.
Where basically Hitchhiker's just a shitty kid where he's just like, he's just a cook.
And she's just like, you can stop this. And the dad,
is she speaking to the old man or Leatherface?
She's speaking to old man.
Okay.
Because Leatherface is the one that's done all the killing as far as she's seen. And the old man seems to be the only one who has some slight compassion. She's dealt with the hitchhiker.
I'm like, lady, he beat you up and tied you up and brought you here.
Yeah, but the hitchhiker cut Franklin.
I guess.
So he's not against this plan. The old man is catatonic. The only one, and Leatherface killed everybody, the only one you could talk to and try to potentially reason with is the old man.
Yeah, the father.
So she's just like, you can make him stop. And, the hitchhiker's like, no, he can't. He's just the cook. And then that pisses off the dad. So he starts yelling at him. Thankfully, no one's yelling at Leatherface yet, except to, go get this. And
we see food on the table, and again, I can assume that it's
human. I assume
I don't
it's
know if it's Kirk, Jerry, Pam,
to their credit,
somebody else.
To their credit, there are vegetables on the plate.
Well, you gotta have your greens.
You gotta have your greens,
So they have barbecued people. BBQP, whatever.
Sure.
And we see faces on the lampshade again. I don't know if it's...
I don't know.
People in the film or previous victims.
In the remake, it definitely is the current victims, but in this one, we don't know.
And just her reactions and her scream of just horror.
Some of the best there ever is, because it's and that's one of the reasons why I included so much of it in the intro. Is just there's such great moments of her pleading and screaming of just like, it is one of the most realistic interpretations I've ever seen of this. And it is so fucked up, so good. And their reaction to it makes it that much better. Of just...
mocking her.
Yeah, just mocking her. Like, I'm looking at this the whole time going, why is she there? Why are they doing this?
Like theatrics? I
don't know.
So they're about to kill her, but they want Grandpa to get a taste, because he was the best killer. He was
the best of them all.
He was the best of them all. Mm-hmm. So they set her down, put her head over a big bucket that you would, bop her apples in.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, hey, Grandpa, it's your turn. And
fucking force a hammer into Grandpa's hand.
Attempt to give it into Grandpa's hand, but Grandpa has no fucking grip whatsoever, so he can't do it. So Leatherface is holding his hand, attempting to help him do it. And it's not working. She is getting bloodied up, though. She's getting hit and bloodied. And how did it... I can't remember how it goes now. How did she...
Well, Hitchhiker was like, let me just do it. And as soon as he lets her go, she just...
fuck, I'm out. And then she just, runs and jumps out the window, the second window for her. And then she gets out and just starts
sprains her ankle. Yeah. So she's, hobbling away.
And it's daytime now. Yeah. So it's been the entire night.
And the hitchhiker catches her, but he doesn't grab her. He's just he's kind of mocking her and
yeah, because he's
messing with her.
Yeah, you can't get away. You can't get away. Well, yes, she can.
And then they go out into the street, or not the street, the road.
Yeah.
And a big ass truck comes up.
Mm-hmm. And fuck it, runs him the hell over.
Runs over the hitchhiker. He is super dead.
Like, that dummy is dead, and I don't mean the human, I mean the dummy that they threw under the truck. That's dead.
Truck driver stops.
Truck driver is so
Clearly,
weird.
He's like, this woman's being attacked.
Yeah, like, I'm doing the right thing.
So he grabs a wrench.
Grabs a wrench, and then, like, picks her up and puts her in the cab.
And she gets back out.
Yeah, why? Because they shut the door, and Leatherface is scratching at the door. He can't do anything.
I don't know.
So they don't drive away.
So she runs.
Leatherface
runs. The driver runs. Chucks the wrench at Leatherface, knocks him down, the blades go into his leg.
And this is where he screams. It's a real
one. The truck driver runs off.
Which I'm like, again, you have a truck. Oh, okay, whatever. He's gone.
Truck comes
we never see
by.
him again. Yeah.
She jumps in the back.
Mm-hmm.
They take off.
And again, why didn't the truck driver jump into the side of the truck?
I don't know.
Like, none of this makes any sense.
So she's just
laughing,
hysterically
and
maniacal, just caked in blood, and like the driver's probably like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yep.
And while she's doing that, Leatherface is going nuts.
He just freaks the fuck out, spins and does what they call the chainsaw dance.
Yeah.
And
credits.
No
music,
nothing.
Just black and white credits.
And you are left.
Thin.
You are left completely disturbed. Don't know what you just watched, and it's awesome.
This film is straightforward as I'll get out. That whole between the dinner and her getting in the truck, that's 20 minutes.
20 minutes. This whole movie led to that moment, and it was 20 minutes.
Like, the third act in this film is like 20 minutes tops.
Yep. And it might be some of the most powerful 20 minutes of horror you'll ever see in your life.
And they're not fodder in the sense of, like, well, you don't really know them.
No.
Because you know them a little bit.
There's enough
you
get enough character.
You get enough between Kirk and Pam. You get enough between Kirk and Frank. You get Jerry.
You know you get everyone's relationship. You get their point. You get a sense of who they are. You care enough that when shit happens to them, you don't want it. And that's all a film like this is supposed to do. And that's the part that is amazing to me. That's why the first half of this film is so heavy. It's not much goes on.
Other than the hitchhiker.
Yeah. They're setting up a mood. And what they're doing is they're making you care. This movie is so expertly put together that it's insane that they're making you care so much in the beginning, and very little goes on between them, that when shit hits the fan...
It's quick.
It's
sudden.
It's 30 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes from probably about the time that the first hammer is hit to the end of the film.
Yeah, maybe 40 tops.
Yeah. And it's nonstop.
Because the first act is just the hitchhiker, really. The second act is Kirk, Pam, and Jerry getting killed.
Yep.
And the third act is Franklin getting killed and Sally going through her just mental torture. And physical torture.
Yeah,
as well.
like this film... Unlike most, like I know we overuse the term like this film, it moves. This film is like The Flash.
Yeah, it doesn't waste any time.
It takes every minute it's on screen, doesn't waste your time with anything. It is so expertly done as a horror film that it's...
And it's still 2 hours, it's not...
2 hours. It's an hour and 25 minutes.
Hour and 20 minutes.
Hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, it ironically barely counts as a full-length film.
When I read 120, I thought that was 60,
it's not 120.
But no, it's an hour 20. It's an hour 20. So
it's an hour 20, and it doesn't. And you by the time you're just sitting around going, "Holy shit, that was interesting," it's over. Like it takes no time.
And I like that. I like movies that don't overstay its welcome.
Especially horror films.
I like especially horror films because. I think, honestly, a horror film can't overstay its welcome just because either it's going to get too cheesy, or you don't want to make a film that's, like, fucked up too long, because then I have to sit...
too unsettling.
Because then you get 2 hours in the movie theater where you're like, I got to sit here for 2 hours being, like, mentally tortured.
I don't know for sure, but I think the remake is 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem with me as well. Because there's a whole nother character in that, if I remember correctly. And it's just, I don't like it. It's just, it takes too long to get to the point, and it sort of didn't, it tried to explain stuff that didn't need explaining. Yeah. Stop over-explaining the world. That's why this movie, to me, is just so insanely well done.
So easily not even a waste of time. It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's 10.
We did do that on purpose because, again, we wanted to make the 50th something that we actually wanted to watch and talk about.
It just so happened to be the exact 45th anniversary.
Yeah.
Because, yes, it is October 1st, 2019, when we are recording this, and when we are releasing it, it is the exact, to the day, 45th anniversary of this film.
Happy accidents.
We did not know.